your kids the gift that keeps on giving this Christmas. Book your kids into swimming lessons at Children's Pool.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Tuesday night NBL action, and we've got a beauty for you in the far north of Queensland. Cairns hosting the Perth Wildcats. Cairns were excellent going on the road and beating Tassie only a few days ago. I expect them to do the same against these Wildcats. Let's have a look at a same-game multi in this one. It involves the superstar Bryce Cotton. You know how it works. 3+ three-pointers made for Bryce. Shannon Scott, the ball's been taken out of his hands a little bit with Tajir McCall's return to form, and Cairns to cover the 2.5. Should be an excellent game of basketball. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control, gamble responsibly.
Good game we've got on our hands. What a thrilling contest. Two desperate teams.
What a game.
Good hustle from Keanu Pinder.
You cannot leave this man one-on-one in the post.
Webster, born for the moment. Corey Webster, you star! DJ Hogue hitting some big shots down the stretch. Hogue punches down another triple.
Well, that's a big shot. That's from deep.
They're going to need some Cotton magic. Bang! Well, that's money for jam for Bryce Cotton.
There's not a lot that can happen here, Case.
A pair of the Hungry Jacks NBL's MVP contenders in action up north tonight as 5th place Perth travels to tackle the 3rd place Cairns Taipans at the Cairns Convention Centre. Perth led by perennial MVP contender Bryce Cotton and Cairns by big man Keanu Pinder, who continues to take his game to new heights. It's a shootout with plenty of star power on your Tuesday night. Great you can be with us around the country and around the world. Joel Peterson with you alongside NBL champion Damon Lowry and 450 gamer Adam Gibson. Damon, I'll start with you. The Taipans, they're already 2-0 this round. A win tonight takes them equal top.
Playing some great ball, the Cairns Taipans. They're coming off a great win in Tassie where they knocked off the Jack Jumpers, and they come back home, and I love the collective spirit and joy this team is playing with. They're going to be tough to beat at home.
And Gibbo, 8 days between games for the Wildcats as they travel north.
Yeah, and their last game was a tough 1-point win against Melbourne United. They got lucky there, but they play well in Cairns. Bryce Cotton plays very well in Cairns, and Adam Ford's record against the Perth Wildcats is not great. So I'm looking for Perth to step up and have a good game tonight.
Well, a big challenge ahead of them. One of those is stopping Keanu Pinder, who's been so much the story for Cairns this season. He's drawn plenty of attention, including from his teammate, Tajir McCall.
He's growing so much. I've been with him for 2 years now, and I've kind of seen his growth and his steps, and just being around him, as humble as he is, and just genuinely a good guy. For him to get a night like this, he deserves it, and it makes us that much happier because we see who he is every day. Y'all see him on the court, we see him off the court, and what he's doing when he around us and in the community. So if anybody deserves a night like this, it's him, and he's gonna have plenty more. He's unguardable. He does everything for us, and he brings a lot of energy. He means a lot to us, so I'm happy for him.
So he's averaging 18 and 10. He's got 8 double-doubles. He scored 34 against Tassie, which was the season high scoring for about 5 minutes before it got blown out of the water. He's having a terrific season, Damon.
MVP season by far, and Keanu, I agree with Taj. He's unguardable. You have to hope he misses. He's lethal right here in transition. Anytime he gets out on the break, his athleticism is elite, but he plays, when he gets the ball in the post, he plays with an aggression, a relentless aggression the teams struggle to defend.
Relentless even to court wipers, Gibbo, as we saw against Tassie.
Well, his handle's elite. He has guard ball handling, and the way he gets out in transition, it's phenomenal. He's got guard-like speed as well.
Last time we saw this Wildcats team, they took on Melbourne United in some kind of finish.
Wow, what a finish. Now look, this game was all but over for the Melbourne United, and all of a sudden they choked it away. You can see here the highlights. Luke Travis got in the passing lanes, gets a steal, and this was huge right here. Like, just when you thought the game was over with, when Golding iced the free throws, here comes Blanchfield and knocks a triple down. Shea Illy fouls him, puts him to the line, and an egregious mistake right here by XRM, not boxing out the shooter, which led to Corey C. Webb send them all home. So they're coming off a great win. Perth, they show what they're capable of, and they've been on a 3-game winning streak, Gibbo, ever since they changed the lineup.
Of course, they had their game against New Zealand on Friday night rescheduled. That's been moved to January 10th. And Corey Webster's been a big part of their recent form, Gibbo.
Well, he has. In New Zealand, they poked the bear, and ever since then, he's been on a tear. His numbers there, 26 against the Breakers, 22 against Adelaide, and 20 against Melbourne. He's now that second option, an elite scoring option to Bryce Cotton, and you have to respect his game. He's been doing this his whole career. He can score one-on-one. He can play off the pick and roll. He can shoot the three. His mid-range game, which has gone out of the game a little bit of the recent years, he's elite from the two-point spot as well, and he's tough and playing at a high level, so no doubt that he'll be looking forward to this game again tonight to back up Bryce Cotton and be that second punch of the Perth Wildcats.
Let's take a look at our starting five, the champion starting five for Cairns, Damon.
We got DJ Boss Hogue. We got Shannon Scott, who's playing unbelievable. His assist-to-turnover ratio is 6-1. That's incredible. Tajir McCall, who does everything. Keanu Penez, we already said, unguardable. And Bull Quall, who's going to get all over Bryce Cotton tonight.
And Gibbo, the champion starting five for John Riley in the Wildcats.
Well, since Perth changed their lineup, they're now 3-0 with Corey Webster and Bryce Cotton in the backcourt. Look for Luke Travis to run the point a lot for this lineup. Brady Manning, the three-point specialist, and Tayshaun Thomas in the middle.
So third and fifth, Cairns Taipans hoping to close out round 11 with a third win in a week. A win tonight takes them equal top. A win for Perth. They go a game clear at 9-8 of a logjam for that final play-in spot. They lose and they join Adelaide and Tassie back at 500 on 8-8 on the season. Great to have you with us. Tuesday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Here is Webster, who's been on a tear in recent times. Thought about the mid-ranger. Bryce Cotton averages 21.5 points in this building, and he starts with that.
Straight away, when I looked up and I saw Shannon Scott guarding Bryce, I thought, how come Bull Quall isn't on him, or how come Tajir didn't start off on him? And just then, Shannon relaxed briefly, Gibbo, relaxed off the ball, and once Bryce gets it, we know what he's going to do with it.
Well, it's good defense for 22 seconds, but as we know with Bryce Cotton, it doesn't matter. Any amount of space, and he's going to make a play.
DJ Hogue trying to get going offensively early. Here's Cotton again. Floater doesn't go this time. McCall swings it down the floor. Quall tried the three. He was on fire early. Friday for last Wednesday against Brisbane.
Bull Quall, he's been a lead, and this is what I'm most impressed with him. His on-ball defense has been second to none, and no doubt he'll have Bryce Cotton throughout this game as well.
Cotton likes the look of the mismatch against Hogue. Dribble move, gets into the mid-range. Just doesn't get the user-friendly roll.
Oh, they dodging a bullet. They switching everything, and I don't know if that's going to be sustainable, Gibbo, if you got DJ Hogue switching out on Bryce. Bryce's eyes going to light up when he sees that matchup.
Well, you've seen there how easy it was for him to get in the paint. He's missed 2 layups, which he would normally make, so you keep giving Bryce those kind of looks, it's going to be a long night at the office.
Thomas with the on-ball screen. 0 of 8 this season from downtown, the Perth big man. Webster from deep. That won't go. And Thomas keeps it alive for the Wildcats. Goes straight into the chest of Pinder. Little baby hook is money.
Johnny really would be happy with that, an offensive rebound, because Perth has not won a rebounding count for the entire season. So good start by Tayshaun Thomas to go in the glass and get an extra possession.
Last in the league in rebounding at just 31.5 a game as DJ Hogue gets involved.
Well, DJ Hogue, he'll know that Brady Manning can't stay in front of him. That's a clear mismatch that Cairns need to look to exploit throughout this game.
A little bit quieter by his usual standards, DJ Hogue of recent times. Cotton runs the two-man game with Thomas at the top of the three-point line. Webster straight back at them from the elbow. Pinder with the rebound, averaging 10.3 of those a game, leading the league. Ball's been integral at recent times to the Taipans. Can't get it to go. Pinder keeps it alive.
Hey.
Little pass fake from Tajir McCall. Had it knocked away.
If by pass fake you mean jumping rope with an invisible rope, not getting called for travel.
Scott into his shooting motion got fouled.
This tempo, we got ourselves already a wild, interesting game. I think the way the styles of play are, Cairns want to play up tempo. Perth looks like they want to match it. We could have a 100-point game here.
Maybe some things we didn't expect to see early. Let's get down to the final member of our broadcast team tonight, the 6-time WNBL All-Star Jenna O'Hay. Evening, Jenna.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good to be in the Cairns Convention Centre tonight. I love watching these two teams play. Last time they met, it was not the best matchup back in round 2. And speaking with Adam Ford before the game, they did a lot of switching in that game, which he wasn't so happy about. So I'm surprised to see those little switches tonight. I'm most interested in that Bryce Cotton matchup. You've all been mentioning it. Shannon Scott does have the start on him. I think that's a smart move. I think he can use his veteran savviness to get some stops on him. Bulkill, I think we'll get the matchup on him as well and really use his strength and aggression on him. And Taj McCall, he's the head of the snake defensively, as Adam Ford said. So we're going to see plenty of Taj McCall on him. Anything to slow down Bryce Cotton, because we know we can't stop him, but hopefully the Taipans can slow him down a little bit because he loves playing in this arena. Back to you guys.
That he does, Jenna. Thank you.
Well, it's a big job. It's not just one man's job. As Tajir McCall gets a nice dunk. And Luke Travers, that's going to do his world. A hell of confidence making that 3 before, but it's a team effort to guard Bryce Cotton. It's not one man's job.
Here's the chaos they create on the defensive end, the Taipans, and Travers stands up at the other way and picks it off. Into the corner for Webster, throws the elbow at McCall, who goes down. Cotton for 3 outside, rattles around, won't go. Thomas, little spin move and goes straight back to that hook shot.
It is a lot going on, Gibbo, in these 4 minutes of basketball so far. We're seeing Luke Travers coming down hitting threes. I thought Corey probably should have pulled that one, but Tajir, flop, maybe. But, we got playmakers all over the floor, and I think it's going to be the team that can settle the most and get their style of play to see who can, influence the game early.
And I like to start by Deshaun Thomas. Keanu Pinner's obviously having a great season on the offensive end. Why not attack him on the defensive end? He's had him in the block twice and he's had 2 layups. So they need to exploit that and make him play both ends of the floor.
Perth held the lead throughout the opening 4 and a bit minutes. Of course, they won, as Jenna alluded to, 105-76 here in round 2 as Scott loses the handle and Manek comes up with the loose ball. Just walks into a 3-ball. Can't give him that. Timeout, Cairns.
Good to see Brady knocking his first one down. Even though his shooting percentage has not been great this season, Brady Manek knows that he's a 3-point shooter. A very rare Shannon Scott turnover led to transition. It's hard to get back on D after a turnover, Gibbo.
Well, you can't leave this man that open. This is what he's done. He's done it in North Carolina his whole college career, and that's playing with fire. And also Bryce Cotton, he's had so many good looks to start this game. He's not going to keep missing those layups and that wide open 3 for the rest of the game.
Come out surprisingly flat. You can see Shannon Scott receiving a little bit of attention on the right ankle. Wishing to keep an eye on the Cairns point guard throughout proceedings.
Hopefully he only blew out a shoe tire and not done anything more severe. I can't look at injuries in slow motion. What happened, Joe?
Just gone over on that right ankle. Damon?
Yeah, that's a slight little roll, and if he's done that a few times, that's just like a little rubber band that'll pop back into place. Throw some tape on there, and no doubt he'll be back out there soon.
They're already short-handed. No Sam Wardenberg playing tonight due to concussion, so the bench, we might see some early Joan Antonio. We might even get some Marco Jarrett music.
So Perth by 6 early stages. Reebok's giving you the chance to win the trip of a lifetime to the US for you and a mate to meet Shaquille O'Neal. Flights, accommodation and spending money included. Enter now by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Ben Ayres the man to step in for Scott's replacement. He's a tough young kid, Damon, coming in off the bench. Fordy has a lot of confidence in him, and he's high in confidence. He works hard, he works on his game, and it's a good chance for him to step up and make some plays.
Averaging 9.5 minutes in 14 appearances so far this season, Ben Ayres. Here's Hogue from the mid-range. That one's a little bit short.
Dodging a bullet going underneath those pin-down screens. There's shooters and Hogue. He will not hesitate.
Cotton in the mid-range. That one's short as well. Ayres, Hogue, McCall, Pinder and Kuol, the lineup for the Snakes. They're sticking with their starting five as Air straight into the game, Gibbo, and straight onto the score sheet.
Well, there it is. He's high in confidence. He puts the work in. And as an athlete, you know, if you put the work in, good things happen. And he's come out with confidence. His first catch and shoot. It's a great shot from the threes. You see the Amy replay. Bull Qual just using that on ball. Great slip. Great extra pass from Tajir McCall. And Benny Air steps in and knocks it down. Just great ball movement.
Only shooting the three at 28% this season, Ben Air, but did not hesitate there. Just shows, as you say, works on his skills, and he's got the confidence to come in and knock one down straight away. So does this man, Manning. Hit one earlier, can't connect there. Another offensive rebound to Thomas, and Cotton from deep.
That's what normally happens. You're giving up offensive rebounds. Great job again by Tayshaun Thomas. That's his second one of the quarter, third one of the quarter. And it results in a Bryce Cotton layup from 22 feet.
And all of a sudden, this Cairns crowd is thinking, we've seen this before. Bryce with 5 early. Air from downtown again.
And there it is. I love it. Benny Air stepping in, stepping up and knocking down his second three of the quarter. He's got a tough job guarding Bryce Cotton, but if he can make him guard and knock down shots the other end, it's going to earn you some more court time.
He had 20 and 10 late last year. He had 26 in the NBL Blitz in this pre-season. We know that when he gets it going, he can certainly stroke it.
Well, he certainly can. And like I said, he puts the time in, and he's a confident little fella, and he works on his game. And Bryce Cotton, you cannot. It's going to be a long game if you keep giving Bryce Cotton that many wide open looks.
Speaking of confidence.
Good on Ben Air. These young dudes in this league these days, Owen Foxwell and guys like that, Shawnee Mack down there in Tasmania, these young guys are playing with no fear. See, this is where now I worry, Gibbo. Cairns, when Kendall Pendon goes off the court, now all of a sudden they get extremely small without Sam Wardenberg out there. So I'm expecting who will come out with their numbers. I was expecting Joan Antonio to come out there and get some minutes, but possibly Majuk Ding. He's going to have to step up big in this game.
Majuk, he's definitely going to have to step up. Perth do play some small ball, so I'd like Perth to throw it inside to Thomas and make him guard him inside the block.
Josh Davey getting some early minutes here for the Taipans, the West Australian product, one of 3 in this Cairns team. Call loses the handle. Hogue came up with it. Davey hits the floor.
And that's what Josh Davies gives you. He's not wearing his familiar number 44. He's in number 7 today, but he gives you nothing but sheer effort. 40 picked him out of NBL 1 for that very reason.
Led the NBL 1 West in rebounding for the Lakeside Lightning. First season in the big time for the West Aussie products. 5-point lead to Perth. John Peterson, Damon Lowry, Adam Gibson with you. On this Tuesday night, General Hay keeping a close eye on the action downstairs for us. Jesse Wagstaff into the game here for Perth with Blanchfield. Thomas takes it all the way in. Thomas goes up top.
Thomas got himself involved with all the offensive rebounds. He's feeling great about life, and now he just gets some poster happening.
So 3 offensive boards early for Tayshaun Thomas. And this coming off the block.
Yeah, he caught Josh Davies slipping, literally, and put one on his head.
And let him know about it, coming back the other way as well with the little celebration. Here we go. Just patting the head as he came back down.
All on his head. That's clear mismatch, and no doubt Perth will go straight back. As this full court defense by Bull Qual is elite.
Mitch Norton being harassed by Qual. Cotton likewise by Air. Bryce puts the dribble move on, gets to the baseline, took some contact, couldn't get it to go. Rebound to Majuk Deng. Air for a third three-pointer. Ben Air is walking on air in this opening turn.
3 for $1 for being. Once you hit the 2 in a row, you know you're on a hat trick. You know the next one's got to fly. He didn't hesitate.
Look at the confidence by Ben Air. Transition 3. Team's down by 7. Steps up and makes a big 3 in transition as Jesse Wagstaff's late to contest.
4-point spread. Ben Eyre with 9 early points on 3 of 3 shooting. Thomas is 3 of 3 at the other end for the Wildcats with 8 points. He takes a seat.
What is the blood?
A little bit of blood for Norton, who's out of the game as well. Adam Ford asking some questions of the referees for Maybury, Ruben Woolcock and Alex McEwen. Our team controlling things tonight. Let's go courtside. Jenna O'Hay.
Hey, Jenna, I was going to ask Gibbo this, but I don't know how much experience he has. When you make 3 threes in a row, how you feeling? Are you going to just shoot it as soon as you touch it? What are you talking about now when you know you're on your 4th one?
Absolutely. The next one's a heat check. It's going up for sure. Run me a play, boys.
They got to find Benny Eyre for his next shot, Gibbo. Let's find out how hot he is.
Absolutely, but obviously Perth to be clued into that. So let's see who else gets over, because someone's going to rotate. Someone's going to overhelp and get too excited. They're going to run at Ben Eyre and he'll probably dump it down under the hoop to someone for a wide open dunk.
The Wildcats have handed out to 7 the lead in this opening period. It's now at 4, 19-15. Both bring in 3-game winning streaks to this one. Cairns at 10 and 5, the Wildcats at 8 and 7.
What's the temperature like in Cairns? Bull Quarl look like he in a sauna. Is that blood on the floor? Is it just a bunch of sweat? Look at him. That's how hard he works, Gibbo.
Typical tropical weather in the far north.
When you see, you might not know this statement, but when you pick up full court and harass a point guard and work 90 feet as a defender, lock it in, sliding your feet down in the stands, after 8 minutes of game time, you get quite tired. Now, I know you like the other end of the floor, playing the offensive side, but it's hard work being a lockdown defender.
It is, and good on Bull Quarl too, because he don't care. He'll shoot the 3, he'll come down, pick you up, he will make you work. You can see him and Corey having a little chat. Corey's like, I think you're hacking.
So Ben Eyre involved in the game early stages. Love to see just walking in, as you say, Gibbo, with confidence and getting involved in the offense.
But once you see one go down, Bryce just hand down. Once you see 2 in the first quarter, as we don't see the 3rd one, but he's full of confidence. He believes and trusts in his game and the work he's put in, and he could go for 20.
Which he has done before at this level. So shooting 28% coming into tonight. Ben Eyre on just under 2 attempts a game from downtown.
The old Wiley veteran Jesse Wagstaff sees that Majuk Ding is just overplaying. All he had to do was just put his head down, Gibbo, get to the rack, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that foul.
Yeah, you are. He's done that his whole career, and he knows how to draw fouls and get himself to the foul line. And as a 3-point shooter, when you see a foul shot go down, the next shot's a lot easier.
Been pretty dynamite at the line before now. 20 of 22 before that miss. Jesse Wagstaff. And the Cairns crowd got burgers early on Wednesday. They won't get it here. Wagstaff sinks the second.
Jesse said you can have some hunger pains. You're not eating on my watch.
I'll keep you waiting for a little bit longer.
Little change up, little 1-2-2 full court press there by the Wildcats. Dropping back into a man just to take some time off the clock and slow Cairns down.
So Shannon Scott back into the action after the ankle complaint early. Qual putting it on the floor. Trying to get around Majuk.
Really good one-on-one defense there.
From the car park.
Thought that went down.
He missed it by the width of the car park in the end, unfortunately. Harris can shoot the 3-ball as well. He's into the game for Perth. So can this man, Blanchfield, who was red hot when they met earlier in the season. Bit of volleyball as they slap it around to one another.
I don't know what the record is for most 3s shot in the game by teams, but
they're going for it.
Could be under threat.
Well, Cairns are they shoot the most 3s in the league at 31.5 per game. Perth not quite that prolific from downtown. Webster misses the long 2 and Blanchfield tracks down the offensive rebound. It has been a high-octane, high-energy start. Harris on a nice take with the right hand.
Well, he's an athlete, NBL1 with the Mount Gambier Pioneers. Just tough all-round offensive game and sneaky athlete, so it's a great start for him coming off the bench.
Equal game-high lead now at 7 for the Wildcats.
And
when they won by 29 in round 2. Cairns actually led at quarter time. The Wildcats really took control in the second quarter. Kinder's back into the game and operating underneath.
It only is a matter of time before Keanu got involved. For him to only have 2 points to start the game, you'd be happy with that if you were John, really. But I think it's only a matter of time, Gilbert, before Keanu turns it loose.
Less than a minute to play here in this opening period.
Let him take you out.
5 turnovers for the Taipans early. Let's go downstairs to Jenna with an update on Perth guard Mitch Norton.
Yeah, you could have been mistaken and thought it was Davies with a blood nose after getting dunked on, but it's actually Mitch Norton who has a blood nose. He's got a little tissue up there. We know he's tough. He'll be back on the court soon.
Did Jenna just take a shot at Davies for getting dunked on? I think she did.
Here's Harris going straight to the cup again.
Adam Ford would not be happy. That's way too easy from a sideline play to give up a wide open layup like that.
So Harris involved at one end, Kroll tries at the other, and a foul on the loose ball. Michael Harris impressing in some early minutes here for John Riley.
And a silly foul. That's a coach killer, that foul, to foul that far from the hoop. Perth get to walk down and shoot 2 free throws.
This is when Cairns, their style of play, as much as it's high octane, when you're not hitting threes, when things not going your way outside of Ben Air with his 3 triples, those quick shot threes often lead to fast breaks. And I'm sure Adam Ford, you want to be able to just find the right balance between when do I let one fly, when do I let the ball move, make them play some defense before I take that shot. You can get that shot in 15 seconds later.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Obviously, they're playing some small ball lineup.
Could be burgers on the line here for Harris. First one rattles out. Second one's money.
He's too good of a shooter to give up.
Oh, yeah.
Give up free cheeseburgers.
So 8-point lead, the new game high, and he picks it off at the other end. And Kansas offense really struggling at the moment. That's a 6th turnover of this opening period for the Taipans, just 1 for the Wildcats.
Good to see a middle pick and roll here.
Webster slows things down, takes it inside. Kinder got a piece of it. And then it's knocked loose. And it's going to stay a Wildcats ball.
A tough tape, but great help defense there by Keanu Pinder just to change that shot and Perth get the final shot of the quarter.
4.5 here for Webster to Thomas underneath. Gets the roll to end the opening term and hand Perth on the road looking for a 10th straight win against the Taipans. A 10-point lead at the end of 1. So quarter time, and it is Perth by 10, a game-high lead. They ended the opening term with a 5-0 run to lead 27-17 at the end of one. Damon Lowry and Adam Gibson alongside me. That was pretty impressive stuff to end the term from the Wildcats.
Impressive by the Wildcats on the road. They came there before in round 2, like Jenna said earlier. They got a nice, easy win, and they're coming right. They're picking up where they left off. For some reason, they are just they found something, Gibbo, the last 3 games. Like a totally different team.
And Tayshawn Thomas, 10 points on 4-4 from the field, has been phenomenal to start this game. Because that's a great start by the Cairns Taipans to get a nice, easy inside shot instead of an outside 3.
Thomas has been in good form too, had 28 against Adelaide last Saturday, his season high. So 10 in the opening term, a very bright start. Here he is at the top of the 3-point line. Whistle on the baseline.
Perth go to their flex action, which is hard enough with the guard, especially when you got to chase Bryce off picks. But yeah, he sucked Ben Air into a foul just then. But from a Cairns point of view, for the unguardable Keanu Pinder to have 1 shot in the first quarter in 8 minutes of basketball he played in that quarter, I figured they would come straight to him, and I hope he can get a touch very next time down just to get himself involved.
Ball replacing Ben Air as Travers takes it inside. He'll be keen to impress. Cleveland Cavaliers GM Mike Yancey's been in town in Perth recently, keeping an eye on their young draftee.
As you said, Damon, your man right there, Keanu, going to work. They're getting the ball in the post where he's been successful all season, and shows there why you can't guard him one-on-one.
Mum and Dad pretty happy with his work. Sitting courtside tonight up in Cairns.
Sorry, Joe. Not that Keanu's probably thinking about it, but when there's NBA teams in the house looking at Luke Travers, that's the green light for everybody else to probably show something, put their best foot forward. And when I was at Townsville back in the day, when they was Cleveland Cavaliers showed up, they was looking at Damon Lowry and Brad Newley. Decided to go probably more with Brad Newley and drafted him in the 2nd round. I said to Ian Stackett, Gibbo, give me some extra playing time. I might be a chance.
As Bull Cole goes bang from the 3-point line. I'm sure Brad Newley back then had a little more upside Damon than that 30-plus-year-old barely 6-foot point guard, but you can't leave Bull Cole like that open from the 3-point line. He's too good. He's had a decent shooting season from the 3-point line, and that'll get him going because he's been playing the defense. Now his offense will come from that.
He's 5 of 6 on the round coming in tonight, 4 of 5 against Brisbane, and 1 of 1 earlier in the round as well. Let's go downstairs. Jenna O'Hay.
Yeah, I was in the quarter-time huddle with 40, and he was less than pleased with his troops. He said everything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong. He said to get a bleeping rebound, and that Taipans ball just nothing resembles what they usually play like. So to take some pride and get it done. And then he also spoke about how to break that press that the Perth Wildcats are doing, and then he was a focus on getting it to Pinder down low, which they've done with great success to start this quarter.
Thank you, Jenna. Well moderated, I'd say, that timeout from Jenna, translating that into a family-friendly language.
The bleeping rebounds are the hardest ones to get.
They are the hardest ones, but they're the ones the coaches want most, Damon. So 7-point game after the Bull Qual 3 out of the timeout. Adam Ford really lighting his team up at the timeout.
Sometimes my worry with Cairns, even though they're sitting lovely atop of the ladder, like in that top 3 spot, sometimes they play to the level of the team they're playing against. It's like they don't consistently are themselves. Like sometimes they'll rise to the jack jumper, they might lower themselves standard-wise. So 40 will be looking for some consistency across the board.
Winners of their past 3. Straight inside, Travers with the finish and the foul.
Well, that's really good offense. If we can get a replay on this, it's a great setup by Bryce Cotton, and all the help, as we see the replay, all the help goes to Bryce Cotton. Shannon Scott falls asleep, and Luke Travers is too good of an athlete to leave that open under the hoop as he finishes with a 2-hand dunk.
3 of 3 for 7 points early for Travers.
This is a guy who got so much upside. Obviously, on NBA teams, he wouldn't have got drafted in the 2nd round, but sometimes Luke decides when he wants to play, and sometimes he can be very quiet. And John really mentioned early in the preseason, he wants Travers to be that aggressive mindset for the whole game and not just in flashes. He's getting off to a good start so far.
Been playing a bit more of a point guard role recently, too. Point forward, doing a nice job. Oh, Thomas takes it away from Pinder.
That's great one-on-one defense by Deshaun Thomas. Getting back to Luke Travers, when you have Bryce Cotton on one wing, as we see the great defense and a great two-handed block, when you have Bryce Cotton on one wing, Corey Webster on the other wing, there's going to be no help defense. You have to guard those two guys, so the floor is going to be open for Luke Travers to hopefully get rebounds off the hoop, push in transition and look to explore and get to the hoop and create, because he's such a good athlete. He has a good handle, and if he can play that point guard position, kind of like a Josh Giddey, the upside's there.
So 10-point lead restored for Perth, 34-24. That's a wild throwaway.
As the commentator says, in full effect.
Back the other way. Hogue can't make them pay full toll. Oh, McCall, beautiful pass fake. Weaves his way to the basket.
Now I'm all for Trav. Oh, here comes a sub straight away. Who do you reckon he's coming in for? Give up. Mitch is coming in for Luke, guaranteed. Luke got a little bit lackadaisical with the ball just then, as Brady Manick shows us why he's been brought out here to knock down triples. But Luke's just got to take care of the ball a little bit better. Even though he can initiate offense, he's not a point guard, but he's got to value it a little bit more than that.
Free ball to Manick, his second of the evening. DJ Hogue tries to answer back. Can't do so. Thomas running the floor. He's the lone scorer in double digits so far. 5 of 5 shooting for the Perth big man. Manick, turnaround. Beautiful move.
Okay, now that's tough. Give him almost a bit like Porzingis, where you just kind of put him in that mid-post area, let him bag you down. If he's got a turnaround jumper going over either shoulder, that just makes his three-point shot even that much tougher. As we look at the Amy replay right here, Brady getting a wide-open shot, nothing but net. Late closeout by DJ Hogue. And now the turnaround Jay in your eye.
Very promising start from the big man. Taj McCall having plenty to say in the timeout, and not alone. I'd say Adam Ford will be having plenty to say shortly after as well, Gibbo.
Oh, without a doubt. He got a good start to the second quarter, but obviously the Wildcats, they're just playing poised, they're getting good shots, they run the offense through their main guys, and that's now creating offense for everyone else. And Brady Manick, he got that three early, which is wide open. Now he's full of confidence, and just whenever you play one-on-one from that elbow position, it's hard to help from. So he just took his time, a little couple of back-down dribbles, and a nice little turnaround jumper.
So Manick's up to 8, so too Travers. Thomas has 12. This season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. The name put up in lights alongside our man Adam Gibson here as one of the NBL legends. Great entries rolling in throughout the course of the season. Look at some of those as we go throughout the evening. 13-point lead to the Wildcats here. Very impressive. Cairns need to find something and find it quickly. That won't help. Scott throws it away. Thomas in the open floor with the hammer.
Wow. Deshaun Thomas has been incredible all over the floor, scoring in the post. His defense, one-on-one defense, is incredible as he plays the lane, gets a steal, and just a fast breakaway dunk with a one-hand flush to finish.
Talked about Shannon Scott averaging an assist-to-turnover ratio being like something ridiculous, like 6-1. He's got some early TOs. They're being the careless variety. But one thing about Perth, Cairns trying to set cross screens to get Keanu the ball, except Perth is switching it because you're going from Tayshaun Thomas to Brady Manick. There's no real height mismatch right there. They find it tough to get Keanu the ball. I'd rather see a little guy go set the pick on Keanu. So now you got a mismatch.
Scott coming in tonight, 6.3 assists, 1.8 turnovers a game. Currently sitting on the bench for Adam Ford. Jonah Antonio's into the game. DJ Hogue operating, throws it inside. McCall almost with the acrobatic finish. And then Antonio jumped into Thomas, which was all a bit awkward between the two of them.
Well, that's a clear foul. It's a clear foul, clear poke in the eye. And again, another rebound as Tayshaun Thomas gets whacked in the face. Just great defense, great team defense there by the Wildcats. You see Mitch Norton rotate over, the help side, and a tough finish.
So lead a game high 15 here for the Wildcats. Cairns hasn't beaten Perth since March the 1st, 2020. In the second game of their semi-final series that season, and so far not looking likely to end that streak.
See, now all of a sudden, Cairns is playing, trying to pressure the ball. They figure, let's pick up the defensive intensity. The only problem is you're not containing the ball, and now you're getting all these little ticky-tack fouls. So before long, Perth's going to be shooting 2 free throws.
Mitch Norton with the number downgrade, going from number 8, which was presumably covered in a little bit too much red that he would have liked, and going into number 31.
John Willie's old number back in the Townsville days.
Do you reckon that's why they keep that one spare, just in case?
John probably signed the inside of it.
And this is the first of 2 at the line. Norton shooting 76% from the stripe this season. Just a tick under 21 minutes, 6.5 points a game, 2 assists, but so valuable for his defense and his leadership. Knocks down the second, makes it a 16-point spread. Perth have really come to play. Led by 10 at quarter time. DJ Hogue, smooth moving inside.
Well, he just big boyed him out of the way, Damon. Just one-on-one straight to the hoop and just said, get out of the way and finish off with an easy layup.
Ends a run of 3 straight Perth buckets. He's wedged to getting into the mid-range. That was unconventional at best. Now Cotton, who makes the unconventional look so easy. And again here.
He wasn't going to keep missing layups like you said earlier, Gibbo. This is the thing. They got a lead almost without Bryce being Bryce. So now if you're Perth, you're thinking, we still got our ace in the hole, who hasn't even got that involved yet. And we still got a 16-point lead as Tazier gets down low and gets him an easy 2 and gets himself to the line.
Straight in there to bark some instructions as well. Tajir McCall. Leading from the front. 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting. Because he had a hip injury earlier in the season. His last 4, 24 points, 23, 13 and 23. And already 6 tonight.
And we got ourselves some Marco Jarrett music. Hasn't played a whole lot the last couple of games. When 40 turns to Mirko, you know it's time to turn up the intensity. And here we go, still on cue.
He's right into the action, and Hogue in the open floor throws it down.
He's got his offensive group out there. Jonah Antonio is a 3-point shooter. Mirko as well. DJ Hogue, they can all shoot from 3, so they need to score some points, and it's worked so far.
Spacing the floor, of course, for McCall and Pinder, the 2 bigs. Norton, swing pass. Wagster, who's been red hot from downtown this season, shooting it at 46% on the campaign and knocks another one in there.
Well, how's the pass by Mitch Norton? He knows already Jesse Wagster to his left. Before he even caught it, he was passing that ball, and that's what Mitch Norton does. That's why he's an elite point guard and has been for a long time.
Second chance here for the Taipans. Hogue puts the head down, rumbles into the lane and draws a call.
Just the threat of DJ Hogue shooting a 3 as we see Blanchfield turn the corner. And Mitch turned it down. A good shot for a better shot. But DJ Hogue, even though he's a 3-point specialist, one of the most beautiful 3-point shots on the island, he can get to the rack just because teams sell out to try to take away that 3. And now when he gets to the rack, he's 6'8", gets himself to the line.
Well, and especially with Jesse Wagstaff and Brady Manning guarding, there's no way that they can stay in front of him when he's attacking like that to the hoop. So that'll open up his outside game because Jesse will have to back off. Now he'll be able to get a clearer 3-point shot.
So Hogue with the first of 2. And that was the second as well. Averaging 16 a game in just under 33 minutes. His first season in the league is DJ Hogue. Foul off the ball here. Offensive going against the Wildcats.
Little ticky-tacky screen. Call set by Jesse. Not a whole lot in it.
Oh, yeah, he's been doing that for years, Damon. He's been doing that for years. Good call there by Vaughn Mabry. See a little stare down right after.
He's a pretty verbose character, Taj McCall, but no words were required there.
Sometimes all it takes is a look, Joel.
So Hogue, Jerry, Antonio, McCall and Pinder to line up, doing the job for Adam Ford in the last couple of moments. Cut the lead back to 12. As soon as you say that, turnover. Cotton comes up with it for the Cats. Travers, Blanchfield, now Thomas working on Hogue. Backs his way all the way inside, hits again. Thomas still perfect. He is 6 of 6, make it 7 of 7 from the field for 16 points.
And 6 rebounds to go with it. Tay-Tay's on fire, even though he might have got away with a little bit of a two-step.
Back the other way.
Out on the break.
Cotton races up the floor. Bounce pass to Blanchfield. That one's a little bit strong. They need plenty to think about for the Taipans as Hogue sticks into a triple from the wing.
That is supreme confidence in your shooting ability. Down by double digits, coming down in trans, one pass in rhythm. With Mitch in his face, doesn't matter.
So they clawed the lead back to 11. It was 16 earlier in the period for the Wildcats. There's Taj McCall at the timeout. Of course, he does a little bit of coaching in the timeouts himself sometimes. Let's hear what he had to say pre-game about his coach, Adam Ford.
And Fordy really lets you be yourself as well as all your teammates. Can you just speak about the impact that he's had on this group?
Man, I mean, everything. That's the culture right there. If you're not good in this system, then you're just, it's you, it's not him. He lets you be who you are, and he try to push you in the best position to be as comfortable and as strong as you can. So that's all I can say. He's the culture, man. He just lets you be you.
And he said very publicly that he's built this team around you. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, but he knows he wants to win just as bad as I want to win. So that's not saying that I'm the main player or anything like that. It's just he knows we have the same goals involved, and that's winning. Winning comes first. So it means a lot that he realizes that in me and the team and Mark and everyone. It means a lot.
So a strong relationship between captain and coach, that's for sure. And so far this season, it's been one that's been pretty fruitful for them.
Tajir McCall is a player who, in my opinion, doesn't have a position. He's just a basketball player. You need him to play some point, he can do that. You need him to play some two, he'll do that. He'll get on the glass, he'll post up mismatches. He's just an all-around basketball player, so it's good to have him with that kind of freedom. And he has a good relationship with Fordy, so he's playing some of his best basketball.
Here's Cotton, straightaway three-ball. Bryce, that is very nice.
Right now, they need to put him in and have him go guard Bryce Cotton, because John Antonio, it's going to be a long night if he's guarding Bryce Cotton come off those on-balls.
Still no Shannon Scott out there for the Taipans with 3 turnovers so far in the game. Here's Pinder turning the corner. Can't get it to go off the glass, but McCall cleans it up.
Little things, doesn't matter. Taj is out there communicating, and he'll go. If he has to go get an offensive rebound, he'll go and do that. And this is the Perth Wildcats giving up offensive rebounds. This is their Achilles heel.
Oh, here he is. Cotton starting to heat up. Look out, Cairns Convention Centre.
Gibbo, seriously, what are the rules on Bryce Cotton on the pick and roll? What are we doing?
Well, I would trap that, or at least hard show as DJ Hogue steps up for threes. Bryce Cotton's for sure about to shoot this. You need to get up there. You need to be more aggressive.
Here comes it back.
Ball in his hands. Turns the corner, gets it inside to Thomas, who flings it out to Norton. They've got to look for Cotton here. No, Blanchfield takes it into his own hands. Full court pass from McCall. Pinder goes straight at the defense and an offensive foul.
Really good defense there by Mitch Norton. Got in front, had his feet planted, stood straight up and took it right in the numbers.
Tajir McCall straight across to him too, just to maybe try and calm Keanu Pinder down a little bit.
I think there's just a little bit of frustration too. Keanu hasn't, they haven't really looked after him like I think they should have, especially, you know, he's averaging 18 and 10. He's clearly an MVP type player, but to only have so many touches for the game so far, you got to let this guy eat, or he'll go a little bit wayward at times. And sometimes his emotions can get the best of him sometimes if things are not going his way.
So Thomas has got 16, 7 and 3 assists in this opening half. Cotton's got 13. And Perth have a 15-point lead. Taipans create the turnover. McCall to Pinder, has it pinched by Cotton, who raced down the floor to knock it away.
Perth are just simply playing harder all across the board than Cairns right now. It's just as simple as that. We can talk X's and O's all we want, but they came on this road trip and they said, we have got to get out of this log jam that is the 5th, 6th, and 7th spot. And Kansas is sitting kind of sweet where they are, and Perth is playing way more desperate.
So it's a 15-point lead to the Wildcats so far, 55-40. Let's get courtside to Jenna.
Yeah, I just spoke with the Taipans physio about Shannon Scott. He did twinge his ankle in that first quarter, but they taped it up and he's fine to go. It just looks like 40's trying to find a good combination of players to try and peg back this lead.
He's still sticking with the same lineup he's had for the last few moments, Gibbo, with Hogue, Jerrick, Air, McCall and Kinder. He's been successful to a point.
He's just subbed Ben Air back in, a true point guard to help Tajir a little more, but they need to lock in on Bryce Cotton right now and shut him down.
Here's Thomas to Blanchfield, has it poked away and then back into his leg, and so it'll be a Snakes ball. Gets it in to McCall. 13 points for Tajir. 9, in fact, for Tajir. 13 for this man, DJ Hogue, to pace the Taipans so far. Under a minute remaining in this opening half. Tried to pass baseline. Jerrick waiting in the corner and was knocked away. So 7 on the shot clock. 10-point leaders at quarter time. Perth. Spread now at 15. Air, another 3-ball. That one won't go. Then Air comes back down to earth. He's now only 3 of 5 from downtown.
Well, that one's a little ambitious, as that one is not.
2 for 1. He had to get that one up.
That's a man that certainly has ambitions and capabilities well aligned. Bryce Cotton. Anything he wants to do, he probably can. McCall will get a long look at this on offense for the Taipans. Hogue with 5 seconds to work with. Down to red numbers on the shot clock. Gets all the way in and then tosses it away.
Even that possession there, it just takes too long to get into it. Guys are kind of stagnant. Everything just looks real slow.
You lost the ball out of bounds. Yeah, probably. That happens from time to time.
The question, I just lost the ball for no reason. The answer was, probably. It happens.
Sometimes you just fumble the ball.
I'm thinking it wasn't the answer that DJ wanted to hear.
He handled it well, though.
He did. So a couple of seconds left here in this opening half. Cotton goes all the way. Had her on the string, couldn't get it to go. Thomas misses. And he comes back down to earth to finish the first half, 7 for 8 from the field. But he's been electric. 16 points in the opening half for Tashawn Thomas for the Wildcats. 13 for Bryce Cotton. It's a 15-point lead to the Wildcats. 55-40 over the Cairns Taipans. And it's been a bit of a first half statement, Adam Gibson.
Well, it sure has. You mentioned Tashawn Thomas, 16 points, but 8 rebounds. It's been huge for them. DJ Hogue's come alive for the Taipans, but 40 will not be happy to give up 55 points at halftime.
Here's the star of the show. Tashawn Thomas is with Jenna O'Hay.
I just said you missed a shot there. You were a perfect 7-7 until that last one. How are you feeling out there tonight?
Feeling good. You know, just been trying to build for a couple weeks now, so to see it all paying off right now is just feeling good. We're not done yet, so I'm not satisfied.
55 points at the half for your team. Everyone's humming.
Yeah, everybody's going, but like I said, we know that they won't give up to the end, so we need to keep on going. So that's the focus right now.
And what will it take to win this game in the second half?
Bring that same intensity we brought in the first half and just continue to play our basketball.
Good luck.
Good on you, Jenna. So a 15-point lead to the Wildcats. Plenty ahead of the Cairns Taipans. They've got some work to do as we head toward half-time at 55-40. Now he's hard to stop, and he thinks he's impossible to stop. Just providing so much energy for this Taipans outfit.
Seeing Pinder grow and become the player that he has makes me proud. Seeing him represent the Boomers, just happy for him. And he's a really good dude. Like, he's a really good person, a really caring dude, and he's taken on some leadership roles with this group now. So that's really good to hear his voice.
He's playing with ultimate confidence right now. He's playing great basketball. He is a focal point of this offense and a guy that they count on night in and night out.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, I love to see what Kerry's doing. It's amazing to see that he's on a good path in his life, and you know, he's an NBL coach now, and you know, from player to coach is pretty cool. You know, he's there for the Indigenous kids, giving up all his time. It's good. I love it.
The challenge, though, has been back-to-back buckets. Their other challenge is stopping that.
How many times have we seen this?
KP's just going to continue to grow and continue to do what he does on the court, and he'll learn those things, leadership roles off the court as he continues to play and learn from others. So yeah, it's really important for him to continue on his pathway.
Pinder, beautiful spin move inside.
You see what Paddy's doing as well. There's a lot of people that love basketball now because of Paddy. KP has that same, he can do the same thing for his mob, where he's from, and in Australia.
So Keanu Pinder, so much the part of the story for these Cairns Taipans this season. Unfortunately, they trail by 15 at half-time, 55-40. The Perth Wildcats lead. I'm alongside Damon Lowry and Adam Gibson. They'd love to see him more involved here in this second half, Keanu Pinder.
They would. There's no way on God's green earth should Keanu Pinder have 4 shots and a half of basketball. He's played 18 minutes and he's had 4 shots. It's just not enough. Cairns got to do a better job of getting this guy involved because he's got all the talent in the world as we see, but without the ball, what can he do give up?
Well, I think we've got to give Perth a little bit of credit. Their defense has been phenomenal. Tashawn Thomas has been elite one-on-one, and then when they switched, Brady Manick guarded him as well. So I think Perth's defense, they've identified him as obviously a key target. He's in MVP form, and they've done a good job not allowing him to get touches.
Averaging 18 and 10 on the season, Keanu Pinder. Let's take a look at our Hungry Jacks highlights of that first half. And, well, it was even to start. Perth really took control, led by 10 at quarter time, and they've just kept continuing on their merry way.
They set the tone early. Tashawn Thomas got on the offensive glass early just to set the tone. That's what you want to do when you go on the road. That takes the crowd out of it. And all of a sudden, things get a little bit easier. You provide some energy, guys start hitting shots, Bryce starts getting involved, but Tayshawn is led from the front, and now Bryce is coming along, and Bryce is actually being Robin to Tayshawn's Batman.
Well, he has, and that's what Bryce does. He draws so much attention, and he missed some easy shots that he would normally make early as well. So Perth have got a great spread. Thomas has been great. Brady Manick's got 8 points. Luke Travis has been solid with 8 points, and Bryce has had 13. So a great overall spread from Perth, and that's why they're up by 15 points as we see the stats there.
Shooting 57% from the field, the Wildcats, 7 of 14. They made 18 three-pointers when these two sides met earlier in the season. And the rebound count, Damon, all important. They're up by 1, Perth.
Look out. This would John really be happy about because, like I said, they haven't won a rebound count for the entire season. So to be up 1 is not much, but it's better than nothing.
Absolutely, it is. They're number 10 in the competition in the rebounding count so far this season. So it's not what they want to see. This man's been impressive. Jenna spoke to him at half-time. Tashawn Thomas, Gibbo, 7 of 8 from the field, 16 points.
Well, they did a good job. Like we said, Keanu's in MVP form, but you should attack him on the defensive end. He had 2 good post-ups early, some great footwork there from the big guy. He was up and about. He was in the passing lanes. You see a great dunk. And then the pick and roll. Corey Webster does a great job to find him as an easy layup. Great defense here. Ignites the offense, and then a great steal and a breakaway dunk. He's been phenomenal. He's been clearly the MVP of the first half, and they need to go back to him again to put pressure on Keanu down the other end.
So 22 points is his season high, 16 so far in this first half, 88%, 8 rebounds and a couple on the offensive end, keeping some possessions alive.
And it was great what he said to Jen at halftime. They're not satisfied. He's just not going to be excited because they know what Kansas is capable of, and Tayshawn is looking for consistency. That's what John would have been preaching the whole time.
Well, plenty of work ahead of the Taipans here in the second half. They need to eat into a 15-point deficit. Second half coming up very shortly here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. This season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Let's take a look at some of the great entries so far. Some of the half-court shots that have rolled in, Damon. You have a favourite here?
Anything from half court where you're not falling over the half court line. I like this, like a set shot, almost like a jump shot.
That's a good
Marbury style.
Off the window in the last one. Can you comment on those, Gibbo, seeing as though you're one of the faces of the competition?
Look, what an incredible prize, first of all, to win. $50,000 to go out in your backyard or on a court and just shoot a half-court shot. Film yourself, add a little spice to it, and take away $50,000.
Absolutely. NBL.com.au/legends for your chance to win and get involved in that. 15-point lead for the Perth Wildcats as we go into the second half here. A lot of work to do for the Taipans, especially on the offensive end, Damien. You mentioned it at the end of that first half. It's just taking them a long time to get into their stuff. They look a bit stagnant, and we haven't seen much out of Shannon Scott tonight.
Shannon Scott has been ridiculously quiet for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with him, but yeah, Cairns has been very stagnant, and sometimes when shots are going down, they can mask that, but right now when shots are not going down, as Trav hits another tray ball, this is what I like. I love seeing an aggressive Luke Travis. But Cairns has definitely got some issues, so we'll see what their focus is to start this third quarter.
Speaking of shots going down, Travers with his second triple of the night. It's a game-high 18-point lead. Hogue tries to answer back. That won't go. Thomas, a bit of a tug of the jumper from Pinder and still managed to pull in the rebound. He's ninth to go with 16 points in that opening half. Cotton has 13. Travers now up to 11. Hogue with 13 for the Snakes. Cotton turns the corner. Manic straight away. Won't go. We heard Jenner talking earlier about Shannon Scott. He tweaked the ankle, but he looked fine to come back to play, according to the Cairns physios. So he's out there to start this second half. Hasn't had a shot, only the 2 points so far in the ball game. Perth by 18. Let's check in courtside with Jenner.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Taipans games and they're really good at coming from behind. Forty speaks a lot about that beautiful chaos that they play with, which is definitely when they're coming from behind. So expect the defensive pressure to really lift you, get some stops out in transition, and hopefully they can claw this lead back.
Need to do just that. It's as big as the margin's been in the game so far at 58-40.
Well, they look flat. There's a lot of standing around. They give up an open three to Luke Travers, then a tough three from, you see, Tajir McCall get himself inside to get him started for the second half, but just a little bit flat, a little bit low on energy for the Taipans.
Not to say it won't happen, Gibbo, but something's going to have to change if it is to happen.
Well, this is where, as a coach, you go to your bench. If your starters now, your starters, they get the opportunity to start a game or start a half and set a time. But if they're not doing it, you need to go to your bench quick and find you guys who want to come out and play hard, play with energy. And I'd expect 40, if it goes this way, to bring some guys off the bench and provide that.
Scott chases Cotton around. Cotton gets the three ball up.
Perth is getting any kind of shot they want. Even though they haven't dropped, they are wide open shots. Cairns are not doing a good job of handling this dribble handoff with Bryce involved. They're giving up wide open shots, and it's not sustainable to win a game.
Roll the drop-off pass to Pinder, who makes just his third shot of the evening.
Well, it's just a better offensive look. They're 5 or 16 from the three. Put your head down, get inside the paint, draw some help defense, and find your teammate for an easy shot.
Back-to-back buckets for the Snakes to start. The Perth opened the scoring through the Travers three ball. Webster in the corner. Hogue had it go through his hands. Thomas takes it up strong and Hogue denies him. Cairns out and running with Taj McCall. Takes a hit, puts it up. Can't get it to go. Will go to the strike.
Oh, that started on the defensive end with DJ Hogue coming across, getting a good block shot, which leads to transition. After giving up the initial offensive rebound, he didn't give up on the play. And this is when the Taipans are tough. They get out in transition, speed the game up a little bit, but you got to get stops to do that. You can't trade baskets.
So McCall at the line. 11 points so far tonight, 7 rebounds, 3 assists to make it 12 points on the evening. To make it a 12-point game. One's well off for Tajir. A big walk coming up the floor for Travers. He's had a couple of nervous moments, ball in hand tonight.
A little bit indecisive there from Luke. He's having a good game so far. Just a couple of sloppy little turnovers, bringing the ball to the court, but I'm loving his aggression so far this game.
Tossed one away earlier and then looked to carry on that possession. So the Taipans with a chance to get buckets on 4 straight possessions here. Hogue from the wing, races it. Back to 10.
It doesn't take DJ Hogue much to be honest. He's up to a sneaky 16 points on 6 of 12. 2 of 7 from the three-point line. If he can get going and open up the floor for some of his teammates, Taipans can bridge his gap.
Haven't seen the margin down this low since the early stages of the second term, and the crowd coming to life here at Cairns. Webster steps into a long 2. He's still scoreless on the evening. Knocked into the backcourt. Home fans wanted the backcourt call. Webster puts up the 3, and this time Hogue brings it in.
Great job by Brady Mack to keep the ball alive, to give him another possession, but you better find this guy.
And why not find him? DJ steps into it from downtown and drags the Snakes back to within 7.
DJ Hogue does not give a damn about shooting percentages. He knows exactly who he is. Even though shots have not been dropping, all he needs is a look. And now he sees that one go in. Brady Manick relaxes in transition, and DJ makes him pay. Now we got ourselves a ball game. Cairns have lifted the intensity on defense. They're back in it.
The Amy replay, all DJ Hogue.
Well, it is, but it's all started from the defensive end. Obviously, he hit that first 3. They got up and in defensively. The crowd got involved. Now there's a bit of energy in the gym. Before that, it was flat. Everyone was kind of standing and watching, but it all comes from the defensive end. Now they're pushing in transition, like Damon said. The floor's more spread. Brady Manick's late on the closeout and knocks down another 3-point shot.
And who was it who came up with the block on the defensive end for the Cairns Taipans?
Well, DJ Hogue, he's been doing it all.
These Cairns Taipans, sometimes this is their style, Gibbo. They're going to live by the sword and die by the sword. They're going to spray up threes. They don't care if they shoot 20%, 30%. This is just how they play. This is how this team was designed, how they were built. And if the shots are not dropping, you can see a lead like this, kind of a deficit like this. But if they're going in, they can beat absolutely anybody.
They are lethal when they're on their game, this Cairns Taipans team, and they've erased the lead back to only 7 points. This season, with thanks to MG, we're giving away a brand new MG ZS EV electric car valued at $44,990. Enter now at nbl.com.au/winmg.
Look at that car right there. I would love to be driving around one of those, Damon. Incredible car, huge sunroof.
In style, Gibbo.
I heard Gazy was spotted driving around in one of those today.
Gazy's been hooked up thanks to MG. We love them as a sponsor.
Get involved with the competition throughout the course of the season. nbl.com.au/winmg.
Just look at the defense. Both Taipans are up and in. They're hunting.
They are
help on the deep.
Swarming, Gibbo.
Yes, sounds.
Ball Qual in the corner. All of a sudden, we're back to 4, and this is an almighty run from Cairns.
Tajir McCall is leading the league in steals. He goes down there, leaves his man, gets the steal, puts it in transition. You can just tell that shot was going in by Bull Qual because that was all generated by defense.
14-0 run. Can Harris snap it? No, that's way off. Almost wedged between the backboard and the rim. Shannon Scott puts the moves on. Kewal, he's not shy from downtown.
Oh, that's
on the floor to Manick, who swats it back in his direction.
Good recovery by Manick. He had him on the spin, but it was a tough take to the hoop and a foul, but great recovery by Brady Manick to get that block and then start their transition offense.
Let's go courtside. The atmosphere building. Jenna O'Hay.
Crowd is going crazy, and as I said, there's no lead that is safe when you're playing against the Taipans. I was in that timeout with John Riley, and he said they are a three-point shooting team. In the press conference after their last game, 40 was shocked that they'd only shot 14 three-pointers for the game, so you knew they were going to get them up this game, and the floodgates are open for the Taipans.
They erased an 18-point lead in the blink of an eye.
And it's not like they're 8 of 19 at 42% from the three-point line. They're good numbers, so I expect that to get up throughout the rest of this game. But Cairns have in the last few games, they've been behind, but they've come back and shown that they can play in that style, and that's been mentioned already, so.
Harris splits it at the stripe. Pinder on the offensive end. Had a little bit of a tumble as he went into the chest of Wagstaff there, and he's not all that happy with proceedings.
Ooh, we need to see this one again on Amy replay, because Jesse is known. Jesse's going to make the referee make a decision. 50-50 call. What do you reckon, Gibbo?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd much better go to the review center and see if we can get some feedback from them, but we all know the block charge call, it's the hardest. Do we have a challenge?
I reckon we might. John Riley's in there talking to his team. And I reckon we've got a challenge on this from Adam Ford.
Yes.
Both pretty cagey coaches. Indeed, we do have a coach's challenge on the call.
I'm tipping he's going to win this challenge, too. I'm calling that a block on my man, Jesse.
So
this is a tough matchup. Jesse's on Keanu. I mean, talk about two guys on different spectrums of athleticism, Gibbo. This is when you might have to send a double straight away.
Well, there's no way Jesse Wagstaff can guard him one-on-one.
Coach's challenge unsuccessful. Ball on the floor is confirmed. The offensive foul on Pinder.
Well, it's a tough call. It looks like he's there. Kind of half takes it down in the middle of his chest. One of the hardest calls I would imagine for a referee to make, and there's obviously not enough there to overturn that.
Wow. I tell you what, though, if I'm Cairns, I'm going to have to just suck it up, but I'm telling you, I'm coming back to that matchup. If Jesse's going to stay on Keanu one-on-one, I'm ice on him at the elbow, and good luck to you, Jesse.
So the challenge unsuccessful. Perth ball up 5. They led by 18 after Luke Travers splashed in a triple to start this second half. Cairns then went on a 14-0 run to slice it back to 4. We're now at 59-54. Manic goes inside, draws some contacts. Let's go into the replay centre here at the NBL. The head of referees, Scott Butler, is with us. Scott, talk us through why the challenge was unsuccessful in the end.
Hey, Joel. So the defender establishes legal guarding position, slides laterally to maintain, and the offense just goes straight through his chest.
So we see the replay again. Pinder clattering into Wagstaff.
He established position, he slid his feet, and he took it in the chest, so.
Clear explanation. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, guys.
Manek hits the first of 2 at the line.
One shot.
The big fella now up to 9 points.
The big thing is that's Keanu's 3rd foul, so we're not going to see him anymore this quarter. So we got some Majuk Ding music out here, so they're going to have to just find ways to score, find ways to get DJ Hogue some more shots, because he's obviously feeling it. But they have definitely got a little bit smaller, a little bit less aggressive without Keanu on the floor.
Without Wardenberg as well, who's still out with that concussion suffered on Wednesday. Here's Ball in the corner.
Well, he's been in elite form. It doesn't take ball much to get going, and just stares Brady Matic down, lulls him to sleep with a little hesitation dribble and drags it through right in his eye.
You can't leave him alone for long. 9 points for Bull Kroll. Cotton thought about it. Kicks it to Manic. Now Harris spots up and splashes it.
That is a great stroke. Athlete Michael Harris. Good extra pass by Brady Matic. They trading threes. Gibbo, we got ourselves a bit of a shootout.
Well, you mentioned about the centers. There's no centers on the floor. It's all small ball. Kick, kick, kick. Step up and knock down the 3.
Spread it out and shoot him as Hogue goes into Deng.
As you see, Bryce Cotton. Take a little fall. Just great ball movement. No hesitation. Great penetration by DJ Hogue, and clear mismatch under the hoop from Majuk Deng.
Bull Kroll is a true 3-and-D guy. Like, he picks up full court. He plays defense like his life depends on it, and yet on the other end can come down and just shoot the toughest of threes. Some guys that can score like that don't tend to play that hard on defense, but he plays hard literally on both ends of the floor.
So valuable in the way the modern game's played as well, aren't they? Those 3-and-D guys, when they're elite at both. Quite often you get one who's an 8 out of 10 on one and a 7 out of 10 on the other. And Ball is up there with the best of them in both disciplines. Speaking of which, Wagstaff been stroking it from downtown. Can't get it to go there. So 5-point game as Air flings it cross court to Ball once more. Kept it alive, McCall. And it's going to be a foul on Tajir McCall.
It is some bullet dodging going on out here right now, because any dribble handoff that Bryce Cotton is involved in, you can see the Cairns are trying to get the ball out of his hands, but they're not getting that second rotation, so they're giving him wide open shots. Then on the other end, Perth is slow in transition, and they're giving up wide open threes. So the team that can lock in the most on defense will be obviously the team that'll win this game.
Cairns come into the night leading the league in defensive rating. Perth last in that category so far this season. Deshaun Thomas is going to step to the line after the foul up the other end of the floor. Hasn't scored before now in this term. Mind you, his Wildcats have only scored 10 total points to 19 for the Taipans. Rattles the second one in.
Even during their struggles, I always felt that Tayshaun always liked this game. You can just tell he's got a soft touch around the basket. He's got a good stroke. It just is a matter of him finding his role, his niche within the offense. And it looks like he's found it today for sure. So if they can get consistent double-figure points out of him, that's going to help them a long way get to this top four.
Scott in the corner. He's been quiet. No more! He's getting loud. So too the Cairns crowd. Not liking the call.
Well, I'd like to see that one again. I'm pretty sure he was in the charge circle, as he is.
Yeah, Jesse took it in the chest, but I think he was in that circle.
So another charge taken by Jesse Wagstaff.
Jesse puts his old body on the line.
He's not scared to stand in there.
No, he's clearly in the circle. Now, I know they changed the rule. I'm pretty sure he has to be airborne for that to be a no foul, but...
Here's Cotton. He's getting involved, is Bryce. He's always involved. 16 now for the Perth Star. Lead back out to 10. Hogue at the other end, not letting the Snakes go away. And they continue to trade blows, these two sides. Like a couple of prize fighters going at it. Two high-powered offences. Cotton again from deep. Well, that one's around it out.
Good offensive rebound by Michael Harris. Give him another possession. You watch the chaos this causes. Oh, good pass. A good extra pass.
And a good shot.
Well, that's a big knockdown by Mitch Norton. If you see the start of that possession, they weren't even guarding Mitch Norton. Bryce Cotton's attracting all the attention. Great extra pass by Deshaun Thomas, and that's a big shot.
Tajir McCall comes rumbling down the lane. 21 three-pointers made in this game between these two sides so far. 44% the Wildcats, 45% the Taipans. Cotton turns the corner, gets inside, flings it to Thomas. Harris wide open for three. Bang!
This kid has some game. What a great pass, a great find, and a big-time knockdown.
13-point lead to the Wildcats as we take a look on the Amy replay.
Well, great pass there by Bryce Cotton. Extra kick out, and he's shown that he can play. He can step up and knock down a shot, and all the attention goes to Bryce Cotton. He gets left open on the three-point line and knocks down a big shot. That's his 12th point. 2 or 3 from the three-point line, 4 or 5 from the field for Michael Harris, which has been big off the bench for the Perth Wildcats.
Bryce Cotton with the assists and a hand in that play. 16 points now for Cotton. He averages 21.5 in this building, Damon, and he is really getting going. Here's Bryce Cotton on 6 of 15 shooting.
This man creates the utmost havoc on the floor. Anytime he's involved in any ball screen action, any dribble handoff action, you have got to sell out to get this ball out of his hands. If you relax for a second, all he needs is a little bit of daylight. He makes the toughest of shots. He's a prolific shot maker, but he can also dribble. He can get into the key. suck the defense in and make the pass that leads to the pass that gets the shot. So Bryce is just playing exquisite basketball right now. The Cairns have been a little bit undisciplined, and that's all this guy needs, just a sniff.
He is so good. Is Bryce Cotton doing his thing again tonight. Always at the forefront of the MVP discussion, and DJ Hoag's doing his bit to try and drag the Taipans back into it, Gibbo.
Well, he has been exceptional, 4 of 9 from the three-point line. He's got 6 rebounds to go along with 22 points, and he's keeping the Taipans in this game, but you got to give the Wildcats credit. It got back to 4 points after being up by about 15 or 16. They've weathered the storm, and now they push it back out to a 13-point lead.
Of course, the 3 from Harris got us to the timeout. He's got 12 points now. He came into the night with 15 total points on the season. Michael Harris making his presence felt. Hoag can't get the 3 to go, leaves it a little bit short. Norton back out there, not in his usual familiar number 8. They clear out for Cotton, who gets inside. Thomas hasn't hit a 3 this season. Continues that run, and then a foul on the loose ball.
Once again, Bryce just making things happen. Got Tayshawn a wide open 3. He's such a willing passer once he collapses the defense. But the Taipans, they need this guy right here. Keanu's subbing back in. He just 40 records. He just can't wait any longer. Even though he's on 3 fouls, I need the big fella out there.
13-point spread. Let's go courtside to Jenna.
Yeah, same point. Great sub to get Pinder back in. There's a lot of foul trouble for the Taipans. With Scott on 4 and then McCall, Pinder and Kuhl all on 3. So how the Taipans finish up this game is really important. But that lead, they got it with Pinder, and then when he was off, that's when it blew out. So let's hope that they can get it back to single figures before the three-quarter time break.
Former Australian Opals captain Jenna O'Hay with us. The Hungry Jacks NBL, great to have her courtside, keeping an eye on things. Pinder flings it cross court to Jeric. And then Dean tries to dump it inside to McCall. It's knocked away.
I like what Perth did there. As soon as Keanu comes in, they thought they was going to try to go to him. Bryce came over. They said, oh, no, you don't. We're doubling you, getting this ball out of your hands. Somebody else is going to have to beat us.
Ball in the corner. Gets inside. Offensive foul drawn by Norton.
Well, Mitch Norton, a lot of his stats won't show up on the box sheet, but his defense has been incredible. He's helped side. He's taken about 2 or 3 charges already. He's setting up the offense. He made the 3 in the corner, but what he brings to a team will not show up on the stat sheet, but invaluable for his team.
This hurts. This is Bull's 4th foul. This hurts. Because he's that other 3-point shooter for him, and clearly a defender, but Bull has got himself into a little bit of trouble. Sometimes he picks up fouls early in games because he's too aggressive.
Not happy.
Melvin Thomas used to do that to me. I would give Melvin a water bottle, trying to help my brother quench his thirst. He throws it on the floor. Now I'll slip in it.
They don't have floor wipers on the bench, do they?
Well, Jenna just made that point. There's a lot of foul trouble. Tajir and Keanu got to be real safe and real careful here not to pick up their 4th either.
Got some frustration creeping in for the Wildcats, and Thomas gets it done underneath.
Great offense by the Wildcats. Brady Manick, a known 3-point shooter, puts the ball on the floor and gets to the paint, draws the help and gets Thomas for a wide open, easy finish under the hoop.
And we're back where we started the quarter at 15. Jeric did well to keep it alive. Antonio with the quick release.
He hasn't said his name much, but this guy got the quickest release in the league, and he would not hesitate. But Perth is picking their poison. If somebody can, if they give up a 3 after like the 3rd pass, they'll live with that. But I tell you what, they're not going to let Keanu take this game over.
Really smart play there by Bryce Cotton to let that ball roll so they get their final shot of the 3rd quarter.
Very little difference between shot and game clock. And a foul on Antonio.
Let's go, boys.
Perth in the bonus. Webster checks back into the game.
That is a heads-up veteran move by Mitch. Sucked in Jonas Antonio. He comes on. He's too aggressive on defense, trying to fight over a pick. Norton sucks him in. Now he gets himself 2 cheapies.
Cotton taking a little bit of an extended 3-quarter time break.
And 40's sitting back like, what am I looking at?
And he's seething, the Taipans coach. Norton perfect at the stripe. 14 points is the lead. They need something special to three-quarter time. McCall can't quite deliver it. And they're going to need something very special here in the final period, the Taipans. Down by 14. The Wildcats 79 to the Snakes 65. Point lead to the Perth Wildcats. They started out hot in that third period. Cairns came all the way back to within 4. But the Wildcats pushed the margin back out. A big 3 to Michael Harris, and it's 14 as we turn for home. Gibbo and Damon.
Yeah, it was. Perth did a great job to weather the storm. Guys like Mitch Norton, Michael Harris, who you just mentioned, steadied this ship, made some big plays, knocked down some shots, and got them back out by 14.
Jesse Wassaf came on, took a couple of charges just to kill the Cairns momentum. It's a collective defensive effort. They've all bought in today.
It's been outstanding, and of course they're gunning for a 4th straight win, the Wildcats, and to take themselves out of the logjam around 500. Thomas back to the basket.
Oh, he's been elite. That's some exceptional footwork. It was pretty good defense by Tajir McCall, but just took his time, eventually found enough space to get a nice turnaround jump shot.
He's too little for him, Gibbo, down there.
Again, they score the opening bucket of the final period. The Wildcats get it out to 16 as Hogue goes back to work on the other end. Thomas, incidentally, 22, an equal season best for him.
And 11 boards to go with it and 6 dimes, playing a complete game.
Really, from the minute go, been the focal point on offense. This man's always involved. Manek's been handy. Travers takes the cross-court pass and buries the triple.
LT! Way to shoot it. Good job by Brady Manek to find him. It looks like, as Tajir gets all the way to the rack and gets him a 2, it looks like they're trying to post whoever Tajir is guarding. They're going to him in the block, and then they sort out on the weak side, and Brady Manek's a willing passer, found a shooter. Yes, I said LT is a shooter now. Found him wide open with his feet set, and he drained it.
He's 3 from 3 tonight. Travers is perfect from the field, 5 of 5. Cleveland GM Mike Yancey would be pretty pleased with what he's seeing as Cotton goes all the way in.
Well, there's a reason why he's been a multiple MVP of this league. That's just Blue Blaze is initial defender and then easy left-hand finish at the hoop.
So equal game-high lead at 17 now for the Wildcats. A lot of work ahead of the Snakes here. McCall gets a friendly bounce.
He's cagey around the basket, Tajir. Unconventional score. He can shoot that little floater off either foot. But Brady Manick, just on the last possession, he did something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He actually just denied Keanu the ball so he couldn't get it. They had to go elsewhere. Tajir scored, but he took Keanu, he couldn't even get the ball.
Correction, lead was 18 when Travers hit a 3 to start the third. Here's Cotton looking for a 4-point play, 3 balls short.
And that gives Keanu his 4th foul. Cardinal sin, you cannot foul Bryce Cotton on the 3-point line. You've got to contest him from the side, so you don't put yourself at risk for any kind of body contact.
And so Cotton will go to the line with a chance to make it a game-high lead. Bryce has got 18. He's had 20-plus in this building 8 times out of 11 appearances coming into tonight. Misses the first here.
Oh, you can forget about these burgers. You can forget about these, Gibbo.
Right on cue, Damon Lowry.
You'll starve to death if you're waiting for Bryce to miss 2 in a row.
Came in tonight, 91 of 96 on the season from the stripe. And we now have a game-high lead. Equal at 17 again for the Wildcats. And a turnover on the other ends. And you just hear the groan of this Cairns crowd. Cotton working some of his magic. Ball in hand. Webster goes barreling into McCall.
Taj read that a mile away. Made up for his turnover on the other end by coming down and getting the charge, but as Hutchie sitting in the crowd, saying, look at my team.
Hutchie and Danny Mills sitting there enjoying the entertainment.
Thought he'd look a touch happier than that, maybe.
It's hot up there in Cairns.
It is. Might need an ice cream to cool them down, potentially.
Damon, we heard you like your ice cream
not exactly cold.
I don't like cold ice cream. I like my ice cream lukewarm.
Interesting.
Have you heard of cream if you don't like cold ice cream? 17 points, the Perth lead at 88-71. Let's go courtside, check in with Jenna. Kroll misses the first, takes the second, puts it up and in.
40 put Bull Quall back in with the 4 fouls. He goes, look, I got to roll the dice. Can't take any chances now, so they got to throw caution to the wind. See if they got another run left in them.
Cotton operating. A long way from home. Working on Hogue. Got him in the air. Travers for a 4th 3-pointer. Wildcats keep it alive, and Manick just strolls into a triple. That doesn't go. Taipans came into the game. 3rd on the table. Pinder goes glass first with his 3. He's just had an off night, unfortunately, has Keanu Pinder.
Well, put that down to the Perth defense. He hasn't had his usual touches. He's frustrated. He gets open for a 3 and he shoots it, but this Perth defense has been incredible.
You can see the energy's really gone out of this Taipans effort at the moment. Let's go courtside to Jenna.
Yeah, if you've noticed to begin the 4th quarter, the Cairns Taipans have been switching all on balls, and I think the Wildcats have really been making them pay for that. That was a player-led decision that they thought would work best, but to begin this quarter, I don't think it's the best option for them at the moment.
Not at all, because you're going to end up on Cotton Island. And we've heard from Jack Heffron, our good mate Jack, there's no electricity or water on Cotton Island.
I think they filmed that movie with Tom Hanks out on Cotton Island, potentially.
Not even a tennis, not even a volleyball, a soccer ball, whatever the hell that was.
Didn't make the trip, Wilson. Manick splits them at the line.
Well, that's a tough shot there by Tajir McCall. You live with that for the Perth Wildcats. The ball's stuck, it's not moving through hands. Tough finish, though, to get into the hoop and score that over that many defenders.
So looking for a 10th straight win against the Taipans here are the Wildcats. Webster puts it on the floor. Wagstaff waiting for it in the corner. Fair to say they've righted the ship. Had a 5-game losing streak in the middle of the season. A takeaway here. Webster races up the floor. Harris goes with the left hand. Beautiful finish.
Adam Ford's about to be kicked out of the gym.
Harris. Adam Ford might need an ice cream too, I think, Gibbo.
He's hot, and I think he's got a right to be. It looked like Corey Webster double dribbled that ball. Someone might want to grab him and...
Yeah, 40 hotter than fish grease. This game has slipped away from Cairns. Cairns never quite, they kind of played themselves into a funk early. They made a run to cut it to 4, but I think just the style of play, Gibbo, they wasn't making Keanu a feature. They was blazing away. It's a lot of one-pass offense. And it's like I said, it's just not sustainable. Perth on the other end, coming down, bodies moving, ball moving, extra passes, getting every kind of look they want. Tough style to play against.
Third game in a week for the Taipans. Of course, the Wildcats haven't played since last Monday's thrilling win over United. United back in action against Cairns at John Cain Arena. The open air game in Melbourne on Friday night as part of a massive round 12 of action in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Takes us through Christmas, of course, a Christmas Day game for the very first time between the Kings and United. And then all the way through the new year as well. Plenty coming your way in NBL23. Hogue got Norton up in the air, walked into a 3-ball, didn't go. Harris fights for the rebound for the Wildcats.
Look at that speed and athleticism.
John really has found a great backup to Luke Travers and Michael Harris. A young athlete who's just trying to make his way into the league, giving you 100% effort.
21-year-old Harris. Still got plenty of very good basketball in front of him. As Gibbo mentioned earlier, out of the Mount Gambier Pioneers. Such a strong program in the formerly the SEABL and now the NBL1. Here he is. 3 balls a little bit short. Thomas keeps it alive. Rebound number 12 for the big man.
And 7th offensive rebound is huge.
Webster goes to work. Wagstaff airballs a 3. Air, who was red hot early. 9 points, 3 triples to his name. Might like the look of one here. Get some separation from Norton.
It's just too much standing around. It's just too hard of a shot. A makeable shot, but it's just too hard of a shot. And we see we got 4 Taipans getting ready to check in. 40's throwing in the towel. Looks by the looks of it. Just not their day-to-day Cairns. No, I'm not going to overreact, though, Gibbo. Cairns is still a top 4 team, in my opinion. Just not their day-to-day.
Well, 3rd game in the week as well. They've had a tough week and had some good wins, but this Perth lineup tonight have been incredible. And no doubt when John really goes back and cuts up this tape, the defensive effort and energy and help side rotations, their scout's been phenomenal, and they'll have so many good clips they'll be able to cut up and show the team, tomorrow when they do their recovery and scout game review.
So in terms of Perth, where are they in the pecking order now? So 4 straight wins in a row. This will get them to 9 and 7, a little bit of separation.
Perth
coming up their way.
Perth is coming home. They finish in with a strong, as they say, with a wet sail. They found an identity, a style of play. As we look at the Amy replay right here. Bryce coming off a simple single screen. Antonio got lost on it. Sorry, John Davies got lost on it, and Bryce, you know what he's going to do. Why he's on the floor with this lead is my question, because I think this game is over with. But Perth they're building, and if they get into that 6, which it looks like they could based on this performance, they could be a tough out.
They definitely can. The next 2 games against Brisbane and then Illawarra and Illawarra, which you would expect them to get both of those games.
You said 2 games. You only named 1 team.
Brisbane Bullets, Illawarra Hawks.
I heard Illawarra Hawks. I didn't. Oh, Brisbane. Oh, that's right. They're playing. Just kidding. Nah, just kidding. Hey, they could get a win. They could get a win tomorrow. The Phoenix are compromised.
Got a little bit of a theory on that, Damon. So the lead now to game high 20. Antonio pulls the trigger, and that won't go. Air likes to look at the 3 as well, and he can't get it to go. So round 12 kicks off tomorrow. Brisbane and Southeast Melbourne. 7:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and you reckon the Phoenix are vulnerable, Damien?
The Brisbane are vulnerable. They're coming off a very tough double overtime win in Terrelgan the other day. They had to hop on the plane. Gary Brown and Ryan Brockoff, they won't be playing. Joe Chi is headed back to China. So if you are ever going to beat the Phoenix, it is now. And Brisbane at home, I'm going to tip them.
So 20-point lead to the Perth Wildcats. What's your thoughts on the theory from Damon on
Look, I get
Phoenix?
his point for sure, but there's also some guys on that bench that have shown in the past. Cole Adams, we see a coach's challenge. It's a very interesting challenge, up 20 with 2 minutes left, but guys like Cole Adams have shown in the past when starting point guards have gone down that he's more than happy to step up and come off and dish up 20 points. He's been starving of opportunity. He's going to get it. And also there's a young kid there named Owen Foxwell who had an incredible game against Sydney. There's plenty of depth there, and the Phoenix have gone out, they've recruited well, they've got depth in their team, in their lineup. So Jochi hasn't played a lot, Dane Pinno's sitting there as well. So don't undersell my former team, Damon. Do not undersell my former team.
So Perth up by 20. We've got a coach's challenge here. A foul call against Harris for a little bit of contact with Lat Mayan.
Well, it's hard to push someone when you're not looking at them, so this should be successful.
The ball on the floor is overturned. We have a jump ball.
They can't be too unhappy with that one, Joel. He didn't even see him. He's turned the box out and looked for the ball, and Juk Deng, I think that was, just fell over him.
20-point lead. I got Tayshawn Thomas out there on the floor, and I got Bryce Cotton on the floor with 2 minutes and 15 to go. This is John Ridley's biggest coaching error, in my opinion. Get them two guys out of here.
Cotton with 24, Thomas with 22. Antonio, quick fire. Davey pulls down the rebounds. And another jump ball. Nico Jerick goes in to argue the case. So 2 minutes remaining here at the Cairns Convention Centre. The winning run will extend to 10 for the Wildcats over the Taipans as Antonio gets the 2 to fall. Have to go back to March the 1st of 2020 for the last time that the Snakes beat the Wildcats. Wagstaff follows up his own miss, saw it coming a mile away. A call on Davey.
Perth is doing, they've done everything right. They finished, they took Kansas, comeback hit, weathered that storm, built the lead back up again. They're just doing all the right things. Everybody's contributing. Great road win for the Wildcats, and now Bryce goes and sits down. He's done his job.
2 shots, guys.
So does take a seat. Does Bryce Cotton. Wagstaff to step to the stripe. With the Hungry Jacks NBL, you can whopper your way to LA. Grab any large burger meal at Hungry Jacks and enter your receipt code to win flights, accommodation, spending money, and 4 tickets to a basketball game in the USA. That's a link on your screen to enter. So back to 20 points, the spread. It was Perth by 29 when they met in round 2.
Got 24, it's on the floor here.
So 49 points separating the two teams between 7 quarters and nearly 8.
White 24. Push.
Little fella fired up with Jesse just then. He didn't appreciate the veterans' wily sagginess.
As we see it here. Jesse with a little tunnel.
A little bit of an under. Jesse goes, I'm sorry I tunneled you. He goes, you can take your sorry and stuff it in the sack.
Gonna be a Wildcats ball.
This is always, even though like the game is well and truly over, but this is a dangerous 93 seconds because you got some angry Cairns dudes on the floor right now who don't play a whole lot. And you got Perth trying to kind of just salt the game away, but you can't play lax right now because you need to know with some clarity on your jersey.
That's what's going to happen as Zunic It's a layup to go. Almost cracking the ton for the third time this season, the Wildcats. Of course, they did it here in round 2 when they put up 105. 103 against Southeast Melbourne at home in a thrilling contest as well, as Antonio hits another from downtown to take his tally to 8 points on the evening.
He's a guy that they brought back, that they had a 3-point shooting contest during an all-star weekend, Gibbo.
Speaking of which, Zunic gets involved.
So Cole Zunic with a quick 5 points off the bench.
See some of those names getting involved, some of the sharp shooters. Mayen takes it all the way, and then it's tipped home by Antonio.
We claiming that one?
He's stolen his points.
Is he in the FGA, the Finger Grab Association?
He's stolen.
The Rim Grabbers Association?
He's stolen Lat Mayen's points. Could have been only a second bucket for Lat so far this season, as Harris knocks in another triple. Equals season high 105 for the Wildcats, who have put on a show here tonight, and it's not the show that the home fans wanted to see.
What a great young talent he is. 17 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line.
Again, 15 points on the entire season coming into tonight, Gibbo.
Well, obviously, it depends on what opportunities he's had throughout the season, but I think John really started to find a really good rotation. His main guys are playing well, and that allows games like this allow him to come in and show what he can do. He's allowed to get more court time, and he's taken his opportunity. This now gives John really him confidence to play him in big-time games.
We've seen it with Zunic, who came in as a DP and had an impact over the last couple of years as well. That the Wildcats haven't been scared to play some of their development players and give them minutes. Shot clock turned off here. And this is going to be a big statement win for the Wildcats. A 4th in a row for Perth.
Will they take a shot, Gibbo?
Are you shooting this, David, or are you dribbling it out?
Will they do the disrespectful thing and let it fly?
Looking for their 9th win on the season. They do get a shot up. And it's a 10th win in a row for the Wildcats over the Taipans. And Perth have got 4 on the bounce, and they're really fighting their way into the mix here in this NBL23 season. They take it in the top end, 105 to 83 in what was a very impressive performance from Go to Woe.
Well, it certainly was. I think Tayshaun Thomas set the scene. They got the ball inside of Melly. They made Keanu Pin to guard him, and he was incredible that first quarter. Obviously, Bryce Cotton's just another Bryce Cotton game. Brady Manick was great with 11 points. Lee Travers, 14. Michael Harris off the bench, but I thought for the Wildcats, their defense was the best part of their game. They were incredible on the ball, their help side defense, and then they rebounded, and that was able to start their transition offense.
They stifled that red-hot Cairns offense. One man who played a big role in it is our Foot Locker player of the game, Tayshaun Thomas, who's with Genero Hay.
Yes, down here on court with the Foot Locker player of the game, Tayshaun Thomas. 22 points, 12 rebounds, 7 of them offensive, 6 assists. What a game.
That's a loud game right there, man. I didn't even know it was like that, but, I'm just glad that the hard work's been paying off. I've been working all year to try to bounce back from my injury earlier in the season, so it's paying off now, so I'm just happy to see that.
Speaking of injuries, saw a little twinge of the ankle there. It's feeling okay?
Yeah. I was happy for it not to be that bad. It kind of scared me just because of earlier in the season, but I'm good.
And your team cracking the 100 points tonight, humming on all levels. Defense was great tonight. What can you say about this team that you're playing with?
Man, we've been playing big. I'm proud of Harris, Michael Harris playing big out there today. Bryce doing what he does, and myself having a good game. It was just showing how hard we've been working in practice and following the process that coach been trying to make for us.
And a 4-game win streak. Now you're heading home for Christmas. Have you had a summer Christmas before, and how are you feeling about it?
It's new, it's hot. I'm used to it being cold and being next to the fireplace, but I'm gonna try to go to the beach and try to have a little Christmas at the beach, so I'm excited for it.
And then you'll leave on Boxing Day for a 2-week road trip. How are the boys feeling?
We're feeling good. We're feeling confident. We've been, like we said, we have a 4-game winning streak, but we're not satisfied. We're gonna try to keep on building up and try to keep it going longer.
I love that. Good luck for the rest of the season, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
22 and 12 for our Foot Locker player of the game, Tayshaun Thomas. When the stats are reading out, and you're going, that you've had a good night. The Wildcats did indeed. Winners by 22. More to come from the Cairns Convention Centre. Big win for the Perth Wildcats, 105-83. A fourth win in a row for the Wildcats. They started out strong. Tayshaun Thomas outstanding, and he was a little bit too big and too strong tonight.
As he said, his game was loud today. He did a great job. He set the tone early, rebounded, he got on the glass. To get 7 offensive rebounds, that is sheer effort and work rate. I'm happy for him because he's coming to a little bit of scrutiny early.
Let's take a look at this post-game. So some interesting scenes between Brady Manek and Shannon Scott in there. A little bit of a scuffle between the two. Webster's involved, Adam Ford perhaps involved as well. Maybe some unsportsmanlike behaviour and the two teams having a bit of a discussion, Gibbo?
Well, I'd like to know what happened there, potentially because of the last shot. It was Brady Manek and Scott, so it'd be interesting to see what they're talking about. But, I mean, Perth did all their talking on the court, and what a big win on the road.
Yeah, don't try to start sticking your chest out now, huffing and puffing after losing about 22. Let's just move on.
Time for talking is done. So a big win for Perth, of course. Cairns, they have to regroup now, and the Wildcats will be back in action. They've got their next 4 games on the road. So a really big road stand for the Wildcats, but a very important win. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Brisbane and the South East Melbourne Phoenix. Looking forward to that. Thanks to Damon. Also to Adam Gibson, to Jenner O'Hay and our entire crew. A big round 12 coming your way. It starts tomorrow night. Tonight, though, the Wildcats, big winners by 22.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.